Good evening. This is the presentation by Blue Canary Cybersecurity for Temecula Web Solutions on wireless network attack tools. Here's what we'll be talking about this evening. We'll talk briefly about who we are and what we do. Then we're going to lay the groundwork for what we see as a problem, then present 3 tools we see as potential solutions. And then we'll finish with a demonstration of how we see that technology working for you. This is who we are. Our target customer base is mid and small-sized businesses that are seeking top-of-the-line cybersecurity on mid and small-sized business budgets. We seek to provide this by working with those businesses to understand their needs and then actively seeking to confirm or deny those via real-world penetration testing. Here's a list of assumptions that we had going into this presentation. I'm not going to read this slide to you, but just to highlight a few, we do assume that Temecula Web Solutions is a small office, home office business, and that you desire to use these tools for your own penetration testing purposes. The problem is well known to you here at Temecula Web Solutions. Ransomware and the recent spate of high-profile attacks have highlighted the need for more and better cybersecurity. For most mid and small-sized businesses, this was a low priority since hackers tended to focus on larger companies. Therefore, many of these companies treated the main source of their revenue stream as an invulnerable to attack. This has not gone unnoticed. Rather than trying to storm the well-defended castles of the larger corporations, hackers have taken to raiding the smaller villages of the small companies. For most mid and small-sized businesses, these attacks represent an existential threat. Nothing gets a CEO's attention like saying bankruptcy, which in turn has created a rush to meet the demands from many companies like yourself for realistic cybersecurity penetration testing. This leaves most companies with a choice of paying for top-of-the-line proprietary software from companies like Splunk and CrowdStrike, or paying for enhanced cloud services from companies like Cloudberry and Acronis. Have you ever noticed that when you have the answer key, you tend to check your answers a lot more frequently than you intend? We're all becoming more and more aware of the phenomenon of confirmation bias and how this can lead to us finding evidence that supports our assumptions. This is where using a black box penetration test as part of a comprehensive vulnerability assessment can pay untold dividends. By starting with an attack, just as a hacker would have to, conducting reconnaissance and enumeration, working to enter the network and exploit the vulnerabilities without the answer key provided by the company will, in a perfect world, only confirm the information that's been provided by the company and validate that our clients' businesses and their security practices. While phishing and other social engineering attacks comprise a large majority of the attack vector on businesses, nearly a quarter of the attacks were from network vulnerabilities. The reality is that most businesses are made up of people, and those people are working hard to ensure the company succeeds. And oftentimes that means duct tape and a lot of caffeine and improperly configured workarounds while trying to make things happen on a timeline. Those are the points of entry that the malicious hackers are looking for. We've looked at 3 major wireless hacking tools that are used by malicious hackers. They are Reaver, Wifite, Wifite2, and Aircrack-ng. These tools are open source and constantly modified by the community against the defenses they find, either for evil intent or more in line with what we're trying to do. This means that you can get cutting-edge technology for free. The downside is that you can also get a program that doesn't work as advertised. We're here to help you sort through the chaff in order to provide you with the best tools available, without the gold plating offered by some of the larger cybersecurity companies. I'll now turn it over to Karl, who will cover our first tool, Reaver.
In 2001, the first version of Reaver WPS, which stands for Wi-Fi Protected Setup, was created by Craig Hefner. The purpose of this tool is to obtain the WPA and WPA2 passphrases by sending a brute force attack against the registrar pins. This is only possible on routers where WPS is enabled. Before you can use Reaver, you'll need to find a MAC address for the router you're attacking. This can be done by running Wash in Kali. Wash is a utility for identifying WPS-enabled access points. After putting your interface into monitor mode, running a scan with Wash will return a list of available wireless networks, starting with their BSSID MAC addresses. Also listed will be the channel used by the access point. In the command line, you'll want to specify the wireless interface that you're using and the MAC address. You may also include optional arguments such as the channel and advanced options. Once the attack has begun, it may take up to 10 hours to brute force the pin, but usually will succeed much sooner based on processing and connection speeds and the number of pins attempted before the correct one is found. After succeeding, Reaver will return the correct WPS pin, the WPA password, and the APSSID so that you can identify the router in a Wi-Fi search. Just like that, you have everything that you need to gain access to the Wi-Fi network.
Wifite, Wifite 2. Wifite is an automated tool that allows simple commands that can hack WEP, WA, and WA2 wireless networks. The current version that's been developed is Wi-Fi 2, which was developed in 2018. This open source software is best used in dictionary attacks, as it is able to try and crack wireless networks with a file containing all known passwords.
Aircrack-ng. Aircrack-ng is a network software suite consisting of a detector, packet sniffer, WEP and WPA, WPA2 PSK cracker, and analysis tool for 802.11 wireless LANs. It works with any wireless network interface controller whose driver supports raw monitoring mode and can sniff 802.11a, .11b, and .11g traffic. In this demo scenario, our client, Temecula Web Solutions, contacted us at Blue Canary Cybersecurity after they received a white paper on our 3 different wireless tools. They want us to demonstrate this tool because a strange occurrence happened at their office. Another access point with the same name, TWS-employee-LAN, has popped up in their list of networks. We believe there is a rogue access point set up and will use Aircrack-ng to investigate. To further add some more detail to our scenario, we drew this basic network diagram showing the small office, home office by Temecula Web Solutions, their router, which has an encryption of WPA2 PSK, and we show that there is a rogue access point with the same name but an encryption of WEP. Now, using our mobile unit, we're going to plug in a Raspberry Pi 4 with Kali Linux OS, a Alpha network interface adapter in monitor mode, and the Aircrack-ng tool in Kali, all plugged in to the back of our Toyota Tacoma to show the power of this tool.
Alright, so as we do our demonstration, here we have our mobile unit. We're in the back of a Toyota Tacoma. Got our keyboard, got our Alpha network interface card, long range, got our Raspberry Pi 4, small monitor, and we have the simulated rogue access point right here. Alright, so to get started, we're going to go ahead and elevate our permissions with sudo bash. Alright, and we just want to check a few things. So I want to check my version of Kali. Alright, there we go. Got 2021.2. Excellent. You could also do a uname-a, and you could see that I'm running Kali 5.4.83. Right? Next up, I want to know my IP address information. Now, I already set up my wireless interface in monitor mode, so that's what you're going to see right here, wireless LAN 1 mon. But just to show you how to do it, I'm going to go ahead and bring this up. And so what I would do right now, first I would kill any processes that might conflict with airmon-ng. So I'll type sudo, or excuse me, airmon-ng check kill. And this is just going to kill any processes that might interrupt with our Aircrack-ng process. Next, I would type in the command sudo airmon-ng start wireless LAN 1. Alright, we see that output right there. Next, I'll type in airmon-ng. As you can see, on my Theros communication device, I have it set up in monitor mode. And I'll check with iwconfig one more time. Wireless LAN 1 mon. Yep, and it's in monitor mode, as you can see right there. Let's go ahead and run it. Once we conduct the deauthorization attack, it would take some time. As we can see, we're sending the deauthorization code here on this window. But let's say it finished, we would type in a different window, Wireshark space, and the name of the file that we were trying to capture. This should open a Wireshark file. And here we could see the SSID of TWS employee LAN. And if we had more time, what we would do is type in EAPOL into the filter, and we can most likely get that passphrase or password. And that's the demo. Thank you.